Hello, hello, and welcome to the very first issue slash episode issue. I want to say issue because comic books and being thematic is fun. Welcome to the very first issue of Hero Infinite, Beta Bobby, and I'm joined by my wonderful friend Doodlesar.
Damn, who's that?
Yay! Oh, I'm excited for us to be starting this, so let's just hop right into things and start the campaign. If you haven't seen it already on YouTube end, last week an episode 0 went up giving context of what the fuck's going on here. Go watch that. It should be in the same playlist as this if you're watching this through the playlist. So, as we open up, just gonna jump right in. As we open up, it is pure blackness. And then, text begins to appear. Booting sequence. A bunch of statistics information running over. And slowly, almost like when you turn on an old CRT TV, the world clicks into view behind this text. Looking around, you can you're trying your best to look around. You can see you're in a lab-like environment. Not too far ahead, there appears to be a military general in an argument with a man. The man he is speaking to looks like... Oh, that's big. That's a big image. Shrink the image a little. This is the man he is arguing with. Ignore the fact that his foot cuts off.
Stream, right? Because I'm not looking at streaming.
Oh yeah, you should probably be looking at the stream so you can see UI stuff. I mean, you already know who he's arguing with. It's the person you gave me the beautiful artwork of.
I'm gonna have to still kill you anyway.
Ah!
What? There. Ah!
The boot sequence text continues to flow by, and the guy's just like, I don't need a sidekick. It's not a sidekick. The simple fact of the matter is you aren't military anymore, and you're making people uneasy. The media's starting to call you a vigilante. I'm not a vigilante. I'm a bounty hunter. What you are is reckless, and it's making people uncomfortable. And we need to cover our asses if we're gonna keep giving you missions. And he is our ass cover. Ass cover. Well, sorry, Sergeant. I don't need a sidekick, and I definitely don't need a babysitter. Oh, you do need a babysitter. Because as far as I'm concerned, you are on thin ice. The last 3 criminals we sent you after, you failed to capture. It ain't my fault they're slipping away. The public is growing uneasy with you, claiming that you lack the skill necessary to help protect the city, and the fact that you're no longer part of the armed forces only adds to that. And not to mention the fact that you're still using those. He points to the holster on the man's hip. You know I'm not a fan of that laser tech. The fact is you're still using lethal weaponry, and that makes people uneasy. So, we're going to send this in order to help save face. It is your monitor from now on. The text continuing to run by, giving information about your boot sequence. And then, text starts to appear. Designation, beta, and then it glitches out and goes away. And it types again. Designation, beta, and then it glitches again. And then text appears. Insert designation.
Bobby!
Everybody turns and looks at you. Hang on, let me grab one of the images that you've created of Bobby. Because you've made a bunch of art of little baby Bobby.
He's not really strong.
Listen, I call him little baby Bobby because he's cute. Oh, there we go. That's a very good image. I didn't see you made that new art.
Of course, I'm a ninja.
This robot has just been powered on. Which
Crack me up. This appears on screen just the freaking abs only. I'm like,
hang on. Hang on. Hang on. The framing of all this is a little bit difficult. Keeping it all centered, because the center of the art on the stream is not the same as the center of the art on my screen. You know what I mean?
Hilarious.
Hang on. Let me replace this artwork in order to give a better sense of the height difference in scale. There we go. That's the height. No, I'm kidding.
What?
Something about.
Can't believe you making fun of my boy.
They both crop. If we assume the feet are cropping off at the same height, that's about the height difference we're dealing with between these two figures. To be clear, this man is like 7 foot tall. This isn't just a tiny little. This isn't a tiny insurmountable creature. This man. What'd you say?
7'4".
Yes, 7'4". So that is why there's the significant height difference between the two. Let me sip my drink again real fast. As you loudly say, Bobby, everyone turns and looks at you. Also, I'm going to quickly reward you with an additional hero point, because you drew that additional piece of art I did not pick up on. Just quickly adding that to your character sheet. The initial 10 or the hero, there's an initial 10 hero points, and then the additional ones is just tracked below. So if you get more than 10, I'm just like, okay, at that point it's just gonna be numbers.
Understood.
Although actually, you know, if it's only the small amount we have, maybe I can get away with just doing a smaller version of the logo. Sorry, I've just on the fly immediately changed how I'm using my UI. Give me just 2 seconds. So you have 13 hero points right now. And I do think that looks much better. Yee. Words. But yeah, everyone turns and looks to you as you loudly say Bobby. And he's like, what did that thing just say?
My name's Bobby. Nice to meet you. You're pretty loud. Is everything okay?
He looks back over at the general. You guys named it? I can't do accents. He's supposed to have like a Western accent. But I can't do accents. He's like, you guys named it? And the general, he looks over at the scientists, like, you know, cocking an eyebrow. And one of them begins to step forward. A shorter height, like, well, I say shorter height. He's about the same height as Bobby. Which, how tall is Bobby for reference?
5'4".
Yeah, so a little on the shorter end. This shorter, chubby scientist begins to go over, you know, he's got the trench coat and his hair is sort of styled to have little points on the side and little point on the top as he's just about starting to show signs of balding. His wide, thick-framed glasses with sort of a swirl on them cover his eyes. Southern, I can do like the Red Dead Redemption Southern accent, the country accent. But the problem is, the moment I try and raise the tone on it, I'm suddenly doing a city news announcer accent, and I can't seem to not keep the voice that I use for cowboy thing in the higher tone that this person's voice would be in, realistically. And I don't want to give him this voice because it feels out of place.
Well, it's not that he has a really deep voice or a very high voice anyway. You're literally trying a bit too hard.
See, Doodle can do the voice good. Which also credit to Doodle for creating this NPC character, the cowboy-looking fella with pointy ears. But yeah, the excuse me. Words with words. Also, hang on, I kind of want to move where chat is so that it's slightly more visible. Editing things on the fly, quality content, yay! There we go, that's a better spot for the chat to sit. So as I was saying, the scientist, he steps forward and he's like, we didn't quite name it. It's, quirky. What do you mean, quirky? And the general, the man in the cowboy hat says, and the general backs him up. Yeah, what do you mean, quirky? Well, he was designed to have a learning personality, a dynamic sense of self, to allow him to relate better with humans. And, well, it seems as though he's decided, or maybe somebody did give him the name, Bobby. And the general's like, what do you mean somebody did give him the name? This is his first activation. Well, you see, it don't matter. The man in the cowboy hat cuts them off. I don't care if you give this robot, or if you give this tin man a funny-looking metal haircut and a screen for a face to let it smile and blink, or if you whatever name you give it. It's just a worthless little machine, and I don't want to have to be lugging this thing around and keeping it from getting damaged in the battlefield. Well, lucky for you, you don't need to worry about that. If it receives any damages, we won't hold you accountable. It's designed to be a fully autonomous drone. It's being sent to monitor you. So long as we don't have any evidence that you're the one that broke it, you won't be getting in trouble. Besides, if the docs did their job right, it should be able to defend itself. Alright, whatever. I'm getting out of here. Beta unit, Bobby, follow him. And, well, what do you do?
Where are you going?
As you start to walk, the doctor who had stepped forward a moment ago, he's like, hold on just one moment. You weren't gonna have it go out naked, were you? The man in the cowboy hat looks over and is like, what do you mean naked? It's a machine. You gonna give it clothes too now? Yes, I went ahead and got an outfit for it myself. As he goes aside, steps aside over to where they have a bunch of equipment and stuff, and he is going to grab something. An outfit that he holds out to you. The hat that is already on the avatar in the corner, very prominently on display on the top of the thing. How do you react as you are handed the outfit?
Wow! Thank you so much. This is truly a great gift.
And this is actually, I think, still fairly accurate height difference. Well, I mean, maybe a little bit more yeah, that feels about right.
It still looks small, but yeah.
Hang on, I need to slightly turn up the tolerance so I'm not getting a bunch of floating pixels. I turned it up too much. Not enough. God damn it.
Issue?
Fuck. God damn it. Stop cutting off his shoes. There we go. A little bit bigger than that. Hang on. That's about the size difference between the two. There we go. So, hang on. The horizontal. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you are given the outfit, and the man with the wide hat, he's sort of like sighs and is like tapping his foot, waiting as you get dressed in the clothing that's been given to you. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you were gonna say something, and then.
I was.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
He seems a bit mad.
Don't worry about it, the general says. You should know what you're doing, though. He looks over to the doctor. You programmed him with the protocol, right? Yes. Beta unit, or Bobby, what is your directive? And as he says that, text is gonna start scrolling over your vision. As you can see, it says very clearly that, sorry, what's the character's name again, this guy?
Dallin.
Dallin. You have been assigned to Dallin, in order to accompany him and aid him on his endeavors as a hero within the city of New Liberty. But so, and I assume you repeat that back to the people looking at you.
I'm here. My protocol and task is to assist and protect Mr. Dallin here on his endeavors and adventures. To make sure he does not cause any trouble.
He sort of puffs very clearly. Again, still very clearly bothered at your presence in general. Words, I can use them. And he's just like, good, we're all sorted out here. Now I'm gonna go and get something to eat. He turns and starts to walk out. The general rolls, or the sergeant rolls his eyes. Follow him, Beta.
Okay. Follows.
You know, you start walking through the long halls of what is very clearly some kind of military base.
Whoa. This place is pretty fancy.
The guy, he's just sort of like, under his breath when you say that. You said it was Dallin was the name?
Yes.
Yeah, Dallin, he sort of humps under his breath when you say the place is fancy. Eventually he walks, you guys continue walking, and he gets outside, and you're in, the parking lot. And he goes over to his car. What kind of car would Dallin drive? You made the character of Dallin Doodle. What kind of car would he drive?
A fucking truck. Like a true Texan.
He's driving, a nice, it's like, how do I want to describe this?
It's a Ford Explorer.
No real brands.
Four-wheel drive.
I don't want to get sued, says the person whose campaign is going to eventually contain copyrighted characters.
It's a big fucking pickup.
Yeah, it's a big pickup truck colored in a color scheme similar to, his outfit, these, nice green shades. And in the back of it, you can see there's like numerous sealed containers that are very clearly like an advanced locking mechanism, likely some form of biometric. Like very clearly like the kinds of things military would use to transport dangerous and important goods. He gets into the truck, you know, closing the door. What are you gonna do as he's getting into the driver's seat?
Get into the passenger seat.
As you open and start to get in, he looks over, cocking an eyebrow, and he's like, shouldn't you be in the back with the other pieces of equipment?
No, that's not safe. He gets in, closes the door, buckles seatbelt in.
A soft chuckle escapes the back of his throat as he starts driving. I wouldn't want you back there anyway. Gonna ding up my stuff. And he starts to drive.
Think of unlikely. I'll probably be flying out the back of your truck anyway.
He goes over and starts to turn on the radio, tuning it a little bit. You know, flitting, trying to find a music station before he stops. As you can hear the sound of like the opening intro theme of like a radio talk show type thing, and as it comes on, you hear. So this is where I get to say something fun for the player for the first time. So with this campaign, as mentioned in episode 0, every player has been given the ability to request fictional characters that they want to have appear within this world in a big, goofy, fanfiction-y-esque writing style. But listen, the players shouldn't be the only ones allowed to have some fun. As the radio tunes in, and you hear, "Welcome back to Just the Facts with J. Jonah Jameson." This guy, he says, as he, you know, he stops tuning the radio and focuses on the road. You know, an almost irritated undertone to his voice. And the guy on the radio is like, it's another beautiful afternoon here in New Liberty City. And or it's another beautiful morning here in afternoon here in New Liberty City, is what I would be saying if there wasn't the destruction on sorry, I'm stumbling on my words. If there wasn't the destruction on the piers that happened from this morning's battle between supposed hero. What's his name again? You just told it to me.
Dallin.
Yes, supposed hero Dallin, and a large monstrous creature that had emerged from the ocean without explanation. For those who are... He sort of looks over at you and rolls his eyes when you say that. According to initial reports, the creature appears to be some sort of amphibious creature in nature, appearing similar to a large bipedal frog? Am I reading this right? Is this accurate? A large bipedal frog, roughly 2.5 stories in height.
Whoa.
It had emerged from the water and began to eat the contents of numerous shipping containers, prying them open with enormous strength in a manner similar to a cartoon character peeling open a can of beans. Who wrote this? Whoever it was, fire them! Anyway, it was eating the contents of shipped goods, primarily consisting of large amounts of grain that was being ready to be shipped out across the country, or being shipped out across the ocean to other continents. The Solar Grain Corporation is estimating a loss akin to the tens of thousands of dollars, but estimations are still being made. Many have theorized, myself amongst the many, that the destruction would have been far more limited if a more competent individual such as Major Freedom had made the appearance instead of this hack. What's the name again? I keep not saying it right. My brain keeps wanting to say Dylan. Dallin. Dallin. I keep wanting to say Dylan, sorry. Instead of a hack like this, Dallin. What kind of hero name is that anyway? Dallin. For those who might not have been caught up on it, this Dallin figure has been active here in New Liberty for the last month or so, having been transferred here from another city back on the mainland. I'm getting all tongue-tied. Apparently, his official military stint has ended, but the local military base has seen fit to continue to hire him as a freelance hero nonetheless. According to reports, he was part of the super soldier experiments that were going on during the crisis in the Sabjaraji, the Sarja. Why can't these foreign people just write in English? In the military crisis that was going on overseas in that oil-filled desert of a wasteland. You all know the place I'm talking about. He looks he goes quiet for a moment. I'll say whatever I damn well please. This is my talk show, and I can say what I want. Whoever it was that was saying that's offensive, fire them. Anyway, he's one of the newest generations of super soldier, and if this is what we have to look forward from our government's continuous endeavors into this field, well, let me just say, I'm not looking forward to the future of our country. Before we know it, we'll be falling to communism. What? I don't care if all the communist nations fell. We are still at risk. Put music back on. I need to talk to someone. And there's like a sound of like shuffling, and then here's some music. Sorry about that. Don't apologize for me. And it cuts to some country music playing. He's like clearly tapping his fingers on his wheel. City folk.
Oh, okay. I thought for a moment you didn't like the music they're playing.
He looks over at you for a moment and then just focuses back on the road as you begin to pull up at a restaurant. What should we name this restaurant? It is a restaurant that serves Southern style food. Of course, that's the perfect way to play J. Jonah Jameson. Completely self-absorbed and wanting to be in control of everything around him. Yeah, so what are we gonna name? Mama's Kitchen? Mama's
Yeah.
Or Mama's Mama's Home Style Cooking Kitchen is the name of the restaurant.
Why is it so long?
Because it's it's like a Southern style restaurant. They those things have long names sometimes.
Mama's Kitchen is pretty straightforward.
It's Mama's Kitchen in big letters, and then very small in the middle it says Home Style Cooking. So he walks in and
Southern home style cooking.
Yes, Southern home style cooking. Sorry, written in the middle. So he words. He goes in going in to get food, what do you do? Do you follow or?
Yeah.
All right. You follow behind him, and he's in his full getup, by the way. As he goes in, and they look over, the person at the counter looks over her and looks him up and down for a moment, and then looks at you with like a surprised-looking expression. They're just like, table for 2? And he looks back at you for a moment, and he's like, I guess so. Not that he's gonna be ordering anything. And she brings you guys over, and you sit down at a table, and he pulls up the menu and is like looking over it.
Bobby looks around.
A number of everybody is looking, like shooting glances or straight up looking right at your guys' table.
Bobby kind of like does a lean forward to see how many people are really looking, and then little gingerly waves. Hi.
I don't think the people are too used to seeing a bipedal robot.
What do you mean?
I mean, walking, talking machines ain't too common in the civilian sector right now.
They're not?
Nope. Most tin men have been, most tin men are primarily used for factory work or military service nowadays. Tin Man ain't. Jonathan says he's worried about how the war effort will go with people like me in the service. I'm more worried about them taking men off the battlefield. We're gonna be losing all the wars soon with the direction the government's taking things. He sort of glares at you over the top of his menu.
Do you think they have a coloring page?
He puts the menu down and looks at you with like what? Like a look that in and of itself is saying what, but he doesn't verbally say it.
Well, you have a book of a menu to look at. I could entertain myself here as you're waiting. Unless you want to just don't mind answering my question.
What questions could you have?
Well, they said a lot of stuff about you on the radio.
Yeah, most of it bullshit. Look, and pulls his menu back up.
So, what is not bullshit?
I did serve in the military. 3 stints overseas. Took down my fair share of super baddies. After that, I was moved back here. Off in the Lone Star Commonwealth, I was one of the bigger heroes. Part of a small team called the Old Corral. Did a good job of keeping the law there, but my military service ended, and so they couldn't officially keep me on the Old Corral no more. I still want to do good, and sadly, there's a bit too many heroes off on the mainland. And so I was able to talk with some of my military connections and get work over here as a freelance hero. Though, I think I've taken more of a liking to the term bounty hunter myself. Now, I wait for the military to call me up, and he taps the little pin that's holding his, cape poncho thing on, the one that has, is that a little heart on it?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that has the little heart. He's like, I wait for the military to call me up and inform me of, words. Words.
Oh, that's
yeah.
the communicational device pager. I thought it was a sheriff's badge, but sheriffs have stars. And that was the heart, so I thought you're like a sheriff of love, which would have been very interesting. But considering how people are just giving you strange looks with not in a way to romance you, I'm assuming you're very bad at dates.
He huffs a little bit looking at you. You're a strange robot, you know that, Tin Man?
I guess, but You do know my name is Bobby, right?
Hmm. Yeah, what's the... hold on, and he waves over the waitress who's walking by. Yeah, can I have some of the potatoes and gravy with biscuits and, a side... the potatoes and gravies with biscuit... or... I'm fucking up the order because I can't speak. Can I have some of the potatoes with gravy and, some biscuits and grits, please? Thanks. And some sweet tea. She nods, taking the menu, and moves on to go and pass it on to the kitchen, you know? And he's like,
No chicken tenders?
what, you gonna eat them?
Shrugs.
Where'd that name come from, Bobby? Meal full of just carbs, yep.
I don't know. Something just told me that was my name.
Right.
And also, none of what you ordered has any form of protein or true nutrition. Even though, sure, nothing wrong with the gravy, even the gravy tends to have more sodium sweetness. You already ordered 2 forms of potatoes. That's why I was wondering, where is your chicken? Not even a fruit?
There's gonna be lemon in the iced tea.
I'm surprised, considering how small your waistline is, you're eating all that bread.
He's sort of is eyeing you up and down. He got potatoes and hash. That's 2 different things that have potato.
Yeah, he got mashed potatoes and grits.
Oh yeah, sorry, grits, that's what I meant.
I know grits is not. I don't think grits is true potatoes, like something else.
Hang on, what is grits? I don't. What is grit? It is
I
potato,
don't know, but
isn't it?
I had grits, and I had grits with cheese, and I was like, I don't like this. I don't know. I'm sorry.
No, that's not potato and grits. It's made from grain. Oh, I just got the answer. Yeah, threw me off for a moment when you mentioned potatoes. That's why my brain autocorrected and thought he ordered hash for a moment, and it's no, he ordered grits. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. He's just looking at you. Sorry, what?
I'm just saying. He's just basically saying you have nothing but bread.
Yeah. He just looks at your woman, and you're funny, Tin Man. But yeah, like I was saying, wait for a call. Whenever they call me up, I'll try and get to the scene of whatever the issue is.
Very well.
You look real different from the robots that they were deploying out in the field when I was in the military. What exactly are you? You got combat capabilities in there?
Yes.
Well, like what?
What you don't like to use, smiles with eyes.
Lasers. I don't know what the deal is with those kinetic beam guns they've made. Damn Cerulean Corp. He sits back in his seat. I mean, I get the whole sentiment, especially for police force, giving them a non-lethal option that has range, but nothing beats a good old .44. He taps the holster on his hip.
Well, it's also energy sufficient, considering they only use a very strong concentrated form of battery that could just need to recharge over time. While you will have to probably dump about thousands of dollars monthly or more just to reload or buy a whole box mag for your gun.
It's worth it for the extra punch. You know you know how good armor somebody's gonna need to get in order to stop a bullet from hitting them? Meanwhile, your shit can be deflected by just putting a Faraday cage underneath my shirt. Here's your food, sir. The waitress comes over, setting down the food and tea. Thanks, son. And he takes the lemon off the side of the tea, pulling his face mask down and sucking on the lemon.
Oh, excuse me, miss.
Oh.
Do you happen to have a coloring page and some crayons?
She smiles. I'll get that for you right away.
Thanks.
She starts to walk away. He takes a sip of the tea and he sets it down. You really want to do a coloring page?
Well, you're gonna probably take like 10 minutes to eat. I could use those 10 minutes to color.
Right. And he gets ready to dig in, and then the thing on his shirt starts, or his thing starts to beep, and he looks down. He's like, "Oh hell!" And he gets up and starts to walk.
Hey.
He's walking briskly.
But aren't you supposed to pay?
I'll pay on my way out. And he, rushes along, and do you try and follow?
Confusion, cause wait, but food, gets up and is like,
His thing is still beeping as he goes over to the waitress that had just walked away, and he hands her a credit card. He's like, I need to get running business. You can charge my meal to the card and pack it up for me. I'll try and come by and pick it up when I'm done. Very sorry for that, and thank you thank you for it. Tip yourself generously. And he continues walking. What do you do?
Well, looking just trots after, stops by the waitress. Thank you so much for your service.
Here, she holds out the coloring page and the crayons.
It pauses, takes them gently. Thank you. Have a good day. And runs after. Wait, Dylan.
Yeah, you rush after him, and he's getting inside the truck, and it looks like he's doing something at the radio. And as you hop in, you can see the whole radio has flipped around, and there's a terminal there that he's typing at.
Whoa. When was that there? It definitely was not there.
Types on a little keyboard that's underneath it, and he hits some buttons, and then a screen comes up, and you see the military general from earlier, or the sergeant from earlier.
Sergeant?
Actually, hold on. No, I know who this guy is. Hold on, give me a second. I can do copyright infringement.
Oh no.
This guy is... I'm trying to search the results, and Google's like, can we know your location to help with your search better? So I'm looking up a movie character. It is Commander Lyle Tiberius Rorick. Everybody at home, Google that character, and you'll see who it is.
That name sounds mad familiar.
Go ahead and Google him, Doodle.
I have to do all this extra work.
Commander.
I don't know how to spell his name.
Lyletibeerius ROU.
Okay, I'm mad at you. I see him.
RKE.
I know who he is.
I'll spell that name one more time for the people at home. LYLE space TIBERIUS space ROURKE. Copyright infringement for the win. Shitty fanfiction campaign. What's the situation, Commander? You remember that, you remember that frog you were fighting this morning? What about it? Had kids. Oh shit. And he's like, I'm on my way there right now. he hits some buttons on the control panel, or on like the control panel above the screen, and the car, its engine starts up, and then you feel it hitch a little bit as it lifts in the air a little. And the truck begins to fly. Oh,
I see where you spend your entire budget on.
Meanwhile, across the city at the pier, frog guts splatter across across shipping containers. A crew of people in hazmat suits scraping up chunks and cleaning it best they can. A large frog man thing, like literally just picture a normal frog, but make it bend its spine in a way where it can stand on 2 legs comfortably. That's what is laying dead on the ground with its brains blown out. Bluish green blood splattered on everything. And
Damn down.
the cleaning crew is sitting there trying to, clean things and scoop it. Has a number of people are gutting around. One of them's just like, how are we gonna move this thing? I hate kaiju attacks. And then its back starts to writhe. Then they all start to back away. They're, back off! It might be alive. One of them's like, don't worry. You ever seen a beached whale? It's just gas building in the body. It's just gonna explode and probably send guts everywhere. And then a little hole bursts out the back, and a roughly car-sized frog pokes its head out.
I hate. Oh no! I know what frog you're doing. Ew, I don't like those frogs. They give me.
And then another one pops out. Meh, 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 meh. Just a dozen of them all popping their heads out and looking around. One of them looks over at one of the guys, extends its tongue out, and he's like, no, wait! As it pulls him in. And they quickly begin to hop around the gated off building as people are scrambling in a panic trying to not get eaten.
Oh no.
And it's at that, as everybody's, people are running around, where the flying truck begins to roll in. And now, give me a moment, because I am going to quickly try and draw up a combat map. Give me just a second.
Sorry.
Oh, that's hot. Ah, yeah, that's hot. That's hot.
Excuse me, sir.
Alright, so here is your character position tracker.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, that looked weird when I flipped it upside down by mistake. Little version of your head. Look at that femboy ass motherfucker. This femboy. He's a goddamn femboy.
Why are you making fun of him?
Oh god, I'm flashbanging everyone. I'm so sorry. Who said I was making fun of him? I was coming on to him. Or at least that's what I want to be doing.
Oh my gosh. I feel like if you flashbang and stuff like that, I could think of the scene from Akira.
Akira, ting, get out of my head. I saw a version of that where it's, I think you saw it too, but it's my fragile heterosexuality, and it's like, Akira, ting, and it's a $20 bill flashes. Akira, ding, $20 bill, get out of my head. So funny. I'm gonna zoom out slightly. Hang on. Let me just move these further down to the side. There we go. I need a bigger canvas. Professional DM here. Been doing this for like close to 20 years. More than 20, about 20 years. I know. I'm good. Then we just go ahead and get like a thing to represent the frogs. So we got like, boop. Hang on. Let me just do that and then that. And then actually, hang on. I should do like yellow for that. There we go. Go back to the circle tool. Oh, and I should also switch the music out from the nice calm music to combat music.
I believe those frogs are Chaos Emeralds. I'll help you. I'll draw a frog for you.
No, it's good. I got frog. There's our frogs. There's what we're using to represent the frogs.
I don't like it. They just look like green donuts.
And now let me draw the environment. I think you're on a slight delay, so you're seeing something looking a little different than what is actually been drawn.
I'm always on the delay.
What?
I'm always on the delay.
I mean, mood. Alright, let's draw the environment. So, you know, we're at, like, the pier, so there's, like... Hang on, let me just... There's a general size... Or, hang on, Sorry, I'm just trying to brain this a little bit. So you got the pier, and it's a waterfront. God dang it. I hate the curved line tool, I never use it correctly. You got the waterfront there. There is a building over here. Hang on. Like right there. Shipping containers. Oh, sorry, this should all be on a layer below the character trackers. And there's a big dead frog man. One of his arms is up on the shipping container, which means it could be like used as a way to ramp up onto it theoretically. So big dead frog.
Oh, no.
And let me chop the environment up into stages. Getting on top, the frog is its own entire zone that you would have to get on top of. So like, hang on. So crossing one of these, what was that?
I'm gonna send you a picture of frog. Here you go.
Oh my god. Look at that frog picture. That is so much better than my frog picture. I am using it.
Frog.
I love that.
Oh,
I'm gonna go ahead and give you a hero point for that.
okay, thank you.
So yeah, if you, like general mechanics of the system, as a reminder, if you want to cross one of these yellow lines, that takes a full movement action.
Okay.
You're able to go underneath or on top of this green hand. The one that's on the shipping container. And so I'm just gonna mark. That means you can go underneath without it costing a zone or a movement action, because they're considered to be within the same region, those two areas.
Okay.
And actually, hang on. It's also got a big old pink tongue that's hanging outside of the, oops. I see what happened. I'm on the wrong layer. Actually, hang on. That pink tongue should be one another layer down. Yeah, you just got the flashbang. Its big old tongue is hanging out outside the building, or the property. Creating another movement obstacle that further chops the map up. Yeah, if you want to perform an action that would make you cross a yellow, or if you want to move in a way that crosses a yellow line, that costs an action. And let me get one more marker. Oh, we're gonna use this like a nice magenta-y shade. Actually, hang on, I know what color I'm gonna use. Why did it not copy that? I hate it when I copy a hex code and then it doesn't actually copy the hex code. I'm like, what the fuck? There we go. This represents civilians.
What?
The little pink dot I've made. So,
Okay.
as you arrive at the scene, there is 3 frogs on the back of the big frog currently. A frog has made its way down here, over here, over here, over here, and over here, and another one over here. There are civilians desperately running away. A couple of them have gotten on top of this building. You know, scaling like a ladder that's on the side of the building. There's a guy cowering over here behind this shipping crate. Another one over here, like at the edge of the water. A couple of people are hidden over here. There's a few that are in the zones with the frogs wanting to get away from them still. And there is one that is inside of a frog. So actually, to mark a frog having a person in it, their belly is going to get colored the magenta color. So that is a frog that has eaten somebody. But yes, words.
I sent you another picture.
Oh boy. Oh no.
So now you have more.
Dead frog.
Big book.
Oops.
What's is it me? Sorry, I'm probably scratching the shit out of my head. I'm so sorry.
Dead frog. That's another hero point for you, making the dead frog.
I'm so sorry, books despise. This is my Sunday hearing sound. Probably me scratching my head.
Yeah, I saw. But so you guys arrive on the scene in your flying truck, which flies down, and it's floating above here right now. He hasn't landed it yet. As he sort of looks at the scene, he's like, oh, shit. You said you had combat capabilities, right?
Yeah.
Alright, well. So now let's describe actions that are going to be taken by people. Has a refresher for people who aren't familiar with my tabletop system. This system is my system, Heart of Action. You can find all of the rules of Heart of Action present on my Discord linked down below, so I'm not going to dwell too much on talking about all of them. But players take their turns simultaneously. So I'm going to tell you what he's planning to do, and you know, because he's your teammate. Or I'm going to tell you what all the frogs are going to do real quick. So AI behavior. Because these are all goon class enemies, they're going to behave in a simple, predictable manner. Also, I realized I messed up this. Oops. Let me just... Why is it at 1 pixel? What was I about to say? Yeah, so... Words. Words, I can speak them. I can speak words. The frogs are going to continually pursue the nearest living thing they see and attempt to eat it. These frogs are not super durable and can be taken out with a singular basic attack. The humans are going to try, our workers are going to try their best to flee from the frogs. And, so that's their general action of behavior. They do count you as a target that they would eat in terms of going after the nearest being to eat. So what Dallin is gonna, Dallin, right? Dallin, his intent is to fly his ship over here, I gotta remember that there's a slight delay, so I'm just gonna quickly do this. to help you be able to tell what's going on. 1, 2, 3. Oops. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I know I have beautiful handwriting. 15, 16, 17, 18. The 18 zones of combat. So, his intention... hang on, let me sip my drink real fast. Yeah, the humans are all fleeing in whatever direction they can get away with. Dallin is gonna fly his truck, so his truck is fast enough to clear any distance on this map as a single action, so long as he's piloting it. He's going to fly you. His intention is to fly you directly over the frog and turn the truck sideways so that you can open your door and drop down onto the frog. Has one of his actions, and then his second action is going to be to park in zone 13. Do you want to change, or do you have any input? But do you want to affect his decision making in any way?
Well, seeing that we're flying over, I see a lot of people like trying to run away. Like, Bobby decides to just hop out the flying truck at zone 18.
Alright. So you're gonna jump out on your own as it passes over 18.
Yeah. And I want to attack Frog.
Jumping down, I'm gonna say, is a free action, so you can attack the frog that has a person in it.
Yes.
That's gonna be one of your 2 actions. What would you do with your second action? You can always change your mind depending on how rolls go, but an initial declaration of plan and intent is worth doing for figuring things out. This will be especially important when we have like 8 players in one session.
Yeah.
So your initial intention is to drop down, attack the frog that has a person in it, and then...
Is it rescue that person from that frog?
Check on the person's medical condition and make sure they're okay?
Yes.
Alright, so, I'm on the wrong layer. He swoops his car over, and as it passes over 18, you nod, open the car door, and drop out, landing hero pose. As he swoops around, what kind of attack are you doing?
My Bobby feels the sudden urge to pull out sword.
Pull out sword?
Yeah.
So you start to reach back, and then you hear... inside of the frog, as you realize the frog still has a person in it. Lethal attacks will likely harm the person as well, as would electrical attacks. I will say, your laser cannon is a non-lethal concussive blast. It's like a G.I. Joe laser gun, like from the original 80s G.I. Joe.
So before grabbing, well, I guess as the moment grabbing hilt.
It is technically referred to as low yield plasma. It is a plasma that does not have heat to it. Don't question it. Sci-fi rigmarole, comic book fun. It's a low yield plasma rifle or plasma shot.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. Bobby hears that, does a quick switch up to just points hand, not hand, yeah.
Points your finger at them.
Yeah, and just plasma.
Yeah, so you extend out your hand and the tip of your finger flicks up. opening up at the tip. And do you have any stats that would let you roll more dice in when shooting?
A finger blaster. No.
Are you spending any star point? This is session 1. I want to keep things easy. These frogs, it is a level 1 challenge to hit them. They are not hard to hit because we're in the early game and I want to keep things easy.
Well, I'm just gonna spend 1 star point.
To buy an extra die?
Yes, sir.
You got 5 successes. That is a critical success. So,
Yeah.
I will give you 2 options on how that critical success can work. Do you want it to be that the, you shoot and it ricochets hitting another frog, or do you want it to be that you shoot and it doesn't cost you an action because you were so good at shooting? So you get your action refunded.
I'm going to... I'll take a refund.
Alright, so you shoot it in the stomach and it, coughs out the guy and he sort of flies directly toward you as the frog, gets knocked out by your concussive blast.
Bobby's like, oh, catches.
Yeah, and now you catch the guy and he's like, ugh. Oh god, I'm so glad I was in a hazmat suit, as he's covered in like viscous clear mucus.
It's good to see you're still okay, sir.
Yeah. No. Or he's like, yeah, thank you, and he looks at you, he blinks. Well, you're a funny looking robot.
My name's Bobby. Oh, I will talk more about gas frogs.
Right. So you have 2 actions still.
Well, my action is defend, so I will attack the 2 nearest frogs.
Shoot both of them?
Yes.
Are you spending any hero points?
I will spend 2.
I just realized I gave you a hero point instead of taking one away a second ago. Durr. So first attack, you're spending 2 hero points. Alright. Which frog are you attacking? The one in space 16 or space 4?
16.
Alright. Your roll got 1 success and 2 crashing failures. Do you want to spend 2 hero points to pass?
Yes.
Alright.
I apologize.
You're good. Alright, so you fire at the one in which space did you say? 16?
Yes.
Alright, what'd you say?
I was saying because the finger blast. Well, that's not. Yeah. Finger blast is a blast range of 3 zones with 1 extra die. I wasn't sure that was being accounted.
Oh wait, sorry, what is the description on the blaster?
You can fire energy attacks from your fingertips. Blast range of 3 zones with extra die.
Yeah, 3 zones stages. I should have written stages because that's the in-rule terminology. So you are supposed to be rolling an extra die on all of these. Always be sure to point those things out. The next roll I will be sure to roll with 6 instead of 5. So yeah, that means you can fire across 3 stages, assuming there's not a height restriction. Like, you cannot hit the frogs in zone 2 because the body of the frog blocks them from sight. But I will say you can hit the frogs on top of the frog.
Understood.
Because like the positioning of things in a stage is not an exact representation of where something is. They exist somewhere in the vague bubble of their stage. You know, each one of these zones is called a stage. So these frogs could be all the way over here, right on the edge, peeking at you, or they could be at the far end, hiding from you. It is whatever fits the narrative better in the moment.
Mhm.
You're attacking the one in space 4. I'm rolling 6 dice. Are you spending any hero points?
2.
2? Alright, so let me add 2 more dice to that roll. You got a burst in the base and a burst from the hero die. The hero die burst into a 1, but hero dice can't critically fail, or they can't have a crashing failure that includes their burst. So it's just a normal one, not a crash. That said, one of your regular dice did crash, but you got 2 successes total, 1 crash. That is enough to hit the frog. So to quickly recap that singular turn, which the way, if this was a comic book, right? Each turn would be 1 page, not like a single page. So the first page of this combat was a series of panels where, the first panel shows the ship, or the last page, it had like you guys floating in, seeing has like a guy got eaten. And, Dallin, he looked at you, he's like, so do you have combat capabilities, right? And you were like, yeah. And he's like, well, let's put them to use. And then the car swoops down. And then the next page, top panel, has the car swooping over the scene, has you there's like a series of images showing you dropping from the panel that has the car into it, into the panel where you hero land. And then a series of panels of you pew, 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 firing off 3 shots at the 3 different frogs, knocking them all out. And then the guy spitting out into your hands and you having the conversation with him. And that's the end of page 1 of the fight.
Well, Bobby would have told I feel like in the process of, besides quick shooting, thinking that he just said, run to the building, get to higher ground to avoid the frogs.
So now the NPCs activate, and frogs act before people. So this frog is going to stick its tongue out and eat that person. So now there's a man stuck in the frog. The frog in 13 ate a man in 13. Sorry, I know you have a slight delay.
No.
The frog's in position 2. One of them is going to hop up to zone 6. And one of them is going to hop over to zone 2. From zone 2 to zone 1. Or actually, yeah, it goes like underneath the arm and like is entering zone 1, creeping over at these people who are cowering like, oh no. Humans all act. The people you just helped are gonna run to zone 16. Oops, I moved you with them by mistake. And this guy in zone 16 moves to 15. All of the people in zone 15 are like there hiding on they're climbing ladders and hiding on the roof because the building is kind of locked down, and it's faster and easier because there's a single door on the side of the building. Other than that, it's like garage entrances, so it's easier for them to get on the roof. And this guy's just gonna be like, and he's gonna run over to zone 14 in fear. Meanwhile, these frogs, all 3 of them, they see you, and they're gonna whip, hop down, and one is gonna hop down here to him. But then, additionally, hang on. Oh my goodness, the dice are mean. Blit.
Oh no.
Blit. Blit. 3 more frogs burst forth from the mama. So, enemy turn. Next turn, let me declare what all of the enemies are gonna do. So the frog, it's the same behavior. Humans are gonna run, frogs are gonna try and eat the nearest people. Now, because there's 2 frogs in your zone with you, who are both attempting to attack you, it is a difficulty 2 to avoid being hit. Now, if you knock one of them out first, and then dodge the second one, it's now a difficulty 1 to dodge. And of course, you could also just use both your actions to knock both of them out. You know? That's just me giving you some idea of what possibilities you have in this fight. I will say on Dallin's end, he's gonna like point his gun at the frog that has a man in it, you know, his revolver, and the guy inside is gonna help me, help, and he realizes like he's holding a gun. There's a man stuck in there. He can't shoot that frog, so he turns his gun instead to shoot the other frog. So he's gonna try and shoot the frog that doesn't have a man in it, has one action. And then as his second action, he is going to try and lasso and dive kick the frog that has a man in it. Like drop kick it.
Yeah.
As he pulls out a lasso that is like clearly not comprised of rope, but some sort of like carbon fiber-esque material. Like a fabric or a metallic rope.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do with your 2 actions? So he's shooting one and then kicking another.
But I was doing something funny.
Oh, you're doing a drawing, aren't you? You goobus.
I am.
While you're taking a second, I'm just going to explain something. So for people wondering what the deal is with the UI, the big symbols represent hero points. That's like advantage points in D&D, but are much more versatile in my system. The hearts are how many hit points Bobby has. Yes, only 3 hit points, but that is traded off by the luck meter on the side. Anytime they would take damage, it is absorbed by their luck first. That's what that bar in the middle is. And their luck will tick down, and when their luck hits 0, the next attack would hit them. So, yeah. And the luck regenerates slowly. Every single turn, every hero gains 1 luck. So if they just avoid damage long enough, their luck can refill.
What? Okay. Sorry. There.
Yeah. Oh wait, what did you send me?
Okay.
Hang on. What is this? Oh my god. Let me just go ahead and copy that into the... Look at that. Look at that cuteness. I got you. Adorable. That's a hero point earned back.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Boop, boop, boop. Alright, so what are you doing?
Well, Bobby's like, oh man. I said, I guess I cannot see what's happening in Zone 13, I'm assuming, yeah?
Yeah, the arm of the frog would be blocking it from your vision, realistically.
More frogs! I cannot let them get near the 2 other guys. Okay.
Yeah. The 2 people you just helped.
Yeah. Well, I see. Well, luckily these just came off the other one, so that means I can use force. Sword.
Right, you got your sword attack. So how is the sword work written down?
The sword says I pull it out and I get extra die, and I have swordsman skill.
It gives you +1 die, and you also have swordsman, so you're rolling 7 dice. So you reach your hand back up into your, like, through your scarf, and you grab, like, under the scarf, your hands wrap around a small rod that extends from your upper spine area, and you draw a laser sword. It is a heated plasma blade, which is distinct from the chilled plasma. Before you were using a cool plasma, you were firing cool plasma blasts, which are basically like a concussive force that knocks things over. This is heated plasma. This burns and cuts. It is sort of somewhere between electricity and fire in terms of elemental basis, which isn't relevant now, but elements are going to be a thing for certain heroes as things go forward. So let's roll 7 on the first. Yeah, I assume you're going to do 2 actions, 1 on each frog is the intent, right?
Yes.
How are you going to spend hero points on the first frog you attack, or no?
No.
You got 4 successes. You only needed 1, so you knock out the first one with ease. And the next one, say if you're going to spend hero points, I'm going to stop asking from this point forward, so you just have to remember to say it if you want to spend them.
I will spend 1.
You're going to spend 1? Okay. I will bring it up if you get crit failure, since I'm doing all the rolls. You got 6 successes when you only needed 1, and that's enough for it to be a exploding success, i.e. a critical in D&D terms. I want to try and start using my own terminology more often when I'm describing things, but you take out these 2 frogs, and because you got a critical success, your action is refunded. You can do an additional thing.
Well, I see. I need to get to Dallin.
So,
Dallin!
do you move to zone 16 or on to the frog at zone 2?
That's supposed to be 16?
Yes, the civilian is covering up the one. 16 is the one down to the right where the civilians ran. So you're running after Dallin?
Yeah.
You go running. Meanwhile, like I said, Dallin is gonna shoot this one and then jump kick the other one, making it spit the guy out. And he is, being a super soldier, easily strong enough to knock that frog out in one blow.
He just drops kick that frog, spit him out.
Yeah, like straight up, it spits out, and the guy goes flying, lands on the ground, and skids several feet, leaving a mucus trail behind. And he's just like, oh. I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me.
Excuse me.
I can't take credit, that's a joke from Community. But hey, this whole campaign is about copyright infringement, so I will take credit. They get on the roof. The guy he just made get spit out. Like, he's actually gonna take a moment to recover. Or actually, hang on, frogs act first, then people. So, this frog is gonna eat a person. The frog go over in zone 1. The frog in zone 6 is gonna eat the person in its zone. Eats them up. And then the frogs here, they look around, like, and there's, you know, who's the nearest person to them? Well, it just so happens to be Dallin. And let's see here, you guys took out 4 frogs this round.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. This is where I'm gonna plug. Fans or people who are willing to support me in my Ko-fi, linked down below. The battle mechanics of the frog fight will be posted into a post on my Ko-fi after this stream. Or tomorrow morning, whichever one I'm able to do depending on time of the stream length. Oh my goodness, the dice are so mean right now. Blech. 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 3 more emerge.
Oh no.
And I'm actually gonna go ahead real quick and do something. Oops. I want to make a distinction between the ones you've killed and the ones you've knocked out. It won't make any mechanical difference, but I want to do it.
Okay.
Just because I kind of want to track that, you know? So knockout, knockout, knockout. And then you had 2 kills. And he had 1 kill and 1 knockout.
Yes.
Because, you know, theoretically, like, now the government can research the knocked out ones that in an enclosure. And we can have giant frog zoo. We can have welcome to Amphibian Park.
No.
Alright, but yeah. So the frogs did all of their turn. And now the civilians are gonna act. These guys are gonna climb up here. This sort of had a whole panel what happened over here where the frog, the guys were hiding between the shipping crates, like, oh, and then the frog, like, they're just hearing wet slap, 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 as the frog hops forward, and then it slowly turns the corner and eats one of them, and the other guy's just like, no! And he runs away in fear, runs over here, and then heel turns and goes into zone 8.
Okay.
And now it is the next round, so you and Dallin can both act.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna go 14, 13.
You're gonna use both your actions to run up next to him?
Yeah.
Alright. He is now gonna use a special ability he has, where he's he's an expert marksman. He's gonna start to feather the revolver or the barrel or the hammer on his revolver, and he's gonna kill 6 enemies with a singular action.
Ooh. Wowzer. It's like McCree.
Didn't they change that character's name?
I don't know. He's still McCree. I don't give a damn.
I think they changed his name because he was named after a Riot employee who, like, assaulted another employee, and they were like, well, that name needs to change.
Oh, well, he's still McCree.
Yeah, so, like, the frogs were mounting up over the face, starting to move toward him, and he just, like, like I said, like, blasted all of them. Oop, I missed one dead body. Alright. And so that's both of your turns. So now the frogs are gonna act, which he just took out 6. Oh, hang on, it moved off my battle music. It did that a while ago and I didn't even realize. There we go, back on the battle music.
So.
Alright. And then another one bursts up. Oh, what? Your UI disappeared. When did that happen? Hang on. Your UI's not displaying. There we go, I fixed it. I think when I did one of the updates to it, it glitched out and made it go away. Sometimes that happens when you update an image on OBS. But yeah. So, new round begins, and I copied a dead frog by mistake instead of a living one.
It's okay, he came up dead.
I don't have them.
No.
Oops, I made a mistake. I don't have any living ones to use as a basis. Let me just.
Okay.
Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Yeah, there's now one frog up there. You made it to him. It's the new round, and he looks at you, and he's like, you got all the or did you get all the people to safety? Sorry, did you get all the people on that side of the arm to safety?
On my side, yeah.
All right, get back in my truck.
But are there still more people?
It'll be faster than running.
Okay.
Because he parked the truck over here. I just didn't have it marked.
It's okay.
It's an
And so-
unmarked vehicle.
You know, you guys both get inside the truck, and he's gonna use an action to do driving. As he flies up, and you guys can see the two frogs, and he's like, you get the one at the shipping containers. I'll get the one up at the dock. And
Okay.
all right, then we move back in on the one on top of the frog. So I assume you jump out when he flies over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he swoops over, drops you off, then flies and lands. That is his entire turn was spent flying. And
Yeah.
that leaves yeah, that now it's you. You still have 2 full actions.
I see this frog belly looks really full.
Oh no. Okay. Non-lethal now.
It actually feels
Spit
kind
him
of
out.
nice in here.
What?
Oh, what are you gonna do? Non-lethal shot.
Yeah.
I should mark your gun is definitely capable of switching between lethal and non-lethal, and I'll mark that down.
Just
The sword is not.
I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna spend a thingy thingy.
Hero point.
Yeah.
Okay. You got 6 successes.
Spin him out.
So, yeah, you blast it in the stomach and it spits the guy out, and you know you catch the guy again, getting a little mucused up.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You should definitely run to the building on the other side before the other frog notices you.
Yeah. So you still have 2 actions because your critical success refunded you your action. What do you do?
I'm gonna move
Mhm.
to see the frog on top of a frog, and since my plasma attack can reach up to 3 ranges, I'm gonna shoot it. My finger.
Yeah. I figured zone 8 is where you moved.
No, I stay in my same zone, so I don't
Oh, okay.
waste.
Oh, that's smart. You said moving, so I thought you meant moving to zone 8. No, that's a good call. So you have, if you miss, you have another action.
Yeah.
Not that you're
moving to
likely to miss.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Bursts on bursts on bursts. You got 5 successes when you only needed 1. You have critically succeeded, meaning it didn't cost you an action. So you still have 2 actions. What do you do? Remember, running under the frog's arm, that is all zone 2 underneath the frog's arm. So you could actually run straight to Dallin in 1 turn.
Can I just move 1 zone?
Yeah, you can do that and then turn.
No, because I could still see under the arm.
Oh, so you want to shoot the frog from under the arm?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because your shots are non-lethal. Yeah, okay, cool. So it's 1, 2, it's within range, so 1, 2. That's awesome. Man, oh,
I enter my marksmanship area.
you got 1 success and 1 crashing failure, meaning 0 successes when you needed 1. You can spend a hero point to pass the roll, but I'm gonna throw this out. If you willingly take the fail and don't spend your hero point, I will actually give you a hero point, because I can make a fun scene play out.
Okay.
You sure?
Bobby tries. He's like,
I can kind of see it. And right here.
You
And
line up the shot, and it flies right past him and right past the frog, as you shot a little wide. Let's see here. 2 frogs were taken out. Yeah, 2 frogs. So let me see how many. All right, another frog bursts forward. me bring that one to life. Whop. Frog bursts up from the tummy of the other frog. Oh, man. I love the frog drawing. It's so cute. Yeah, it bursts out another hole onto Mama's back. Meanwhile, you know, the frog here is gonna dive into the ocean to try and swim away.
Huh?
As it's at one action. Then the civilians all act. They run to that zone. These guys get out, and like the one who was in the frog, he's like, "I'm alive!" And he goes to hug his friend, and his friend is like, "Yeah, I'm glad you're alive," backing away, holding his hand up, but like not letting him get near him.
Oh no.
This guy here, he's gonna keep hiding at the end of the dock. And now it's your guys' turn, but Dallin, he's gonna run to the edge of the dock, and he's like, "Not so fast!" As he does his big metal lasso, shoots it, like, or sends it out, and he catches the frog and yanks it back onto land, like flinging it in the air. And as it flies over him, he jumps up in the air and kicks it, kicking the man out of its stomach.
Oh my goodness.
That was the cool scene I wanted to make play out that I bribed you to let me make happen.
It is very cool.
I've been doing his
like-
roll. I have all of his stats here, so I can like do his rolls super fast.
Yeah.
Because while you're deciding what you're doing, I'm rolling for the results of his situation.
Understood.
And now you've got one action, or two actions. I mean, yeah. I assume you're gonna try and shoot frog.
Yeah.
You got 5 successes. That is a critical success, so you get your action refunded. Not that it matters, because the fight is pretty much over.
Bobby just
Alright,
wants
so
to make
shots on
sure,
missile. Wants to make sure what?
because the frogs keep coming out. Bobby's like, I don't know how many more frogs will pop out. So, approaches the corpse.
You climb up on top.
Yeah. Bobby just like starts rubbing hands aggressively
Mm-hmm.
and fries the frog with its taser attack.
Oh,
Well,
you're...
it was not supposed to be climbing on top of it, just still in zone 8, just touching the frog itself.
Okay, you're gonna try to tase the frog with an action. That's... I will let you put both actions into this to make it stronger. And I'm
Yes.
gonna say, to do what you're trying to do is a level 5 success. Because of
Okay,
how
so
girthy this frog is.
I want to spend 3 hero points.
3? It may be
Yes.
worth it to spend all of them, because this is the combat encounter of the session. You won't have them to use on roleplay moments, but...
I'm double checking. I get, to use the taser, I do get extra die.
Alright, yeah, it does an extra die of damage. Of course, I guess you
Yeah.
would want to save some hero points in case you roll 1s, right?
Yeah.
So you spent 3, you said?
Yeah.
You got 2 bursts, one of which burst into nothing, the other burst into a 1. Your total... Let's see here, I'm figuring it out right now. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 successes with 2 crouching failures. You just pass. So I had rolled more frogs were going to emerge from it. But, you know, you go over, you tase it, and you hear like... Bleh, bleh, bleh. And let's see how many more frogs would have appeared. How many you just tased into unconsciousness. So you tased 2... Oh, it was just 2 more. But you knocked out those additional 2. It never happened, but I mean, I guess it kind of happened. Frogs that had a person in them would attempt to flee with the person in them. There was 2 exit points. They could exit via the water, at which point they would try to run all the way to the dock before hopping into the water. they wouldn't just hop in from the side for arbitrary reasons. And they also were able to use the tongue as an escape method into the streets of the city. So yeah, you catch your breath as Dallin goes over. He approaches you. He's like, that wasn't too bad.
Thanks. Nice driving.
Thanks. And
I think that was everyone accounted for. I did not see any more civilians. Everyone else is retreating to the building or outside the property line.
He pulls up his little pin toward his mouth and, hey, we're gonna need a pickup crew. Live and dead beasties. Or not a containment crew, he says. And he nods.
I tried to make one again.
Your bot came in more handy than I expected. And with that, we're gonna cut to later, when you guys are at the military base, and they've got a bunch of the frogs, they've got them all in, or no, it's still here. It would be at the military base, sorry. Establishing shot, we see the military base, which sits, the military base is actually technically one Commonwealth up in the neighboring Commonwealth, at the edge of Cape Clam, rather than being in the city, so it's a little bit a little ways away. Which, yes, I know that means that your guys' drive from the military base to the city was actually super fucking long, but I wasn't gonna sit there and play out an actual several-hour-long car ride.
No, yeah.
Realistically, you probably would just put the truck in flight mode, but I wanted to save up for the reveal of that. Yada yada yada.
Understand.
Yeah. Establishing shot of the
I would have been
military.
annoying him, just asking all the questions.
Yeah.
Shut up.
He would have very early on told you to just be quiet and turned his music up. So we have establishing shot of, the military bases. They've got a bunch of frogs and tanks, and, the scientists are, one of the scientists is, leaning and looking at it, and then it sticks its tongue onto the glass, and he jumps back in fear. And we cross-fade to inside, where the doctor who had spoken up in favor of you, the one with the spiral glasses and the funny-looking hair, is sort of you are disrobed, and he's by you, clean, making sure you're clean, checking you over. You never got eaten by a frog, so you wouldn't have any gunk, or you have a little bit of gunk from catching the people and helping them, so he's cleaning the mucus out of you. He's
It was so cool. I said, pew pew, and they flew out, and I caught them it was a bouquet of flowers.
Yep. You're a real hero, Bobby. He smiles at you.
Mm.
And
Not
then
yet. Not a hero yet.
Dallin walks in and he's like, you almost got the Tin Man clean? I picked up my pay, he says, holding it, or he says, and he pats around, he's like, shoot, my credit card's still back at the base. And you realize he has 2 additional holsters on his belt. Or yeah, back at the restaurant, that's what I meant to say. He has 2 additional holsters on his belt. And looking, you're able to recognize that those are a couple of low-yield plasma pistols. Like the kind of things you can shoot from your finger.
Bobby kind of squints, puts fingers to his face.
Oh my! Is that a gun on your head, or you're happy seeing me?
That gives you a hero point. He's just he chuckles, he's like, this, and he draws one of the guns and twirls it around. A little bit lighter than I would have liked, honestly. This new tech's weird. But since I couldn't shoot at those frogs with my normal guns, I figured I guess I do need a low lethality ranged option. As he tucks it back in the holster and he looks over at you, a smile visible in his eyes. I guess I could say I'm warming up to new technology. Also, I forgot to swap the music back over. That was all supposed to be done with the calm music. Because I guess you could say I'm warming up to the newer technologies. And that is the ending of this session of Hero Infinite.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hang on. Oh god, hang on. I can. Give me a second. UI tucks aside. That goes aside. And now here we go. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. I wasn't prepared for this as I thought I was. This is the first session. Sorry.
It's okay.
There we go. That is the ending of this session of Hero Infinite. Yay.
I sent you a thing.
Oh, you sent me a thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay, hang on. That would give you another hero point if we weren't at the end of session, but I'll make sure you get... I'll give you...
I sent it earlier, but the frogs distracted.
If you remind me, you will get 2 additional star points at the start of your next session. One for the joke at the end, and one for this thing that I'm about to post. Yay. That's the ending of the first session of Hero Infinite, and in the story of The Adventures of Bobby. That is great. Yeah. So, I hope people enjoyed that. Like I said, be sure to support me on Ko-fi, where there'll be numerous ways you can directly affect the series. If you're watching this when it's streamed, there's actually already 2 votes over there that will dictate the future of the campaign. Which those votes may or may not still be around when this video hits YouTube. It really depends on what stories I'm able to tell. One of them is which character you think is coolest out of a list of several famous tech-related fictional characters. And another one is asking which elder god you think would be the best cat owner. So, head on over there to do those, and those will affect the future of Hero Infinite. Yeah, I think this was very good, this first session. Did you have a good time, Doodle?
I did.
Next session, we will be experiencing, well, somebody completely different. As for the first several episodes of Hero Infinite, we are very likely going to be seeing a large variety of different characters as I try and get as many of the new people introduced as I can. Because this setting is going to have an incredibly large number of heroes that you all can look forward to. Including, but not limited to, a musical pop star, or a magical pop star, a ghost detective, a power-armored super soldier, a being from another dimension, a cyborg who can interconnect with technology on a level no human ever has before. And I was gonna tease another one. That actually, that's just there's even more than that, but I don't think I'm gonna lore drop any more of them. You know, that's just a teaser of some of what's to come in future sessions of Hero Infinite. Hope you've all enjoyed this episode. On the YouTube crowd, be sure to click the end cards to continue watching. Love all you very, very much, and ta-ta.